painkillers finally kicked in. Called plumbers around 10 in the morning. Plumbers were supposed to come out about 10:30. About 3:30 I called plumbers. Said, hey, were you going to come out? And they said, yeah, we should be there in half an hour. So almost 5 o'clock, plumbers show up. Plumbers check over the water heater, and as I suspected, it's been destroyed. Gave me a quote on replacing it. I said, let's do it. He said, you want us to do it now? I said, I don't know if you can smell, but I haven't had a shower in 2 days. Yes, let's do it now. So they've gone off to their supplier to get one. They're due back any minute now to put it in. And, well, guess what? It started raining because fuck all! That's exactly what happens around here lately. It's been a heck of a week, to be fair. I mean, it's just been a terrible week. So I haven't really had a chance to mention any of the good stuff that's happened, and because it just seems to be overwhelmed by the other. Let's clean up where we left off. Plumbers came out. Mud had gotten up into my 22-year-old water heater, and basically it had reached the point where it was unsafe. At 22 years, it's well past the point where it needed to be replaced anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So they replaced it, and they did that yesterday, and I'm very pleased that they did it yesterday, because we have hot water again. So that part's good. My back feels better. That part's good. I'd been moving some stuff, just trying to clean up a bit of the mess made by the flood, and I felt like I hurt my back, but then in the morning, much worse. But anti-inflammatories and painkillers and rest took care of that. At least as long as I'm careful. Anyway, so what did happen during the week? Well, on Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. Probably Sunday, we went to the mall and quite a lot of Pokestops at the mall, which was nice because it was indoors and air conditioned and got the kids out walking around again. But I stopped in the Apple store and I broke down and I bought myself a case for my iPhone, which I have been going completely caseless here on the iPhone 6. But I decided I would get the Apple Smart case, which is a battery pack, which some people think is hideous. Doesn't bother me. It's got the lump in the back that's a battery, but it's great to be able to go all day and play Pokemon and still have battery at the end of the day. So it works well. So I like that. Because that does burn the battery down, let me tell you. And then, pretty much that's it. So, yeah, it has been a lousy week. Hopefully the weekend will be better. Tomorrow is Michelle's freshman orientation, and Irene and I have to go to that as well, so that'll be interesting. It's hard to tell if this is recording or if it's even pointing at me because I got a light glaring me in the face. I know it's ridiculous, but it's raining again, and it couldn't possibly rain as bad as it did. In fact, I think it's dying down. There's been a heck of a lightning storm, but it's got me worried. In a way, I'm kind of tired of rain. Hello there, strangers. I haven't had the chance to do one of these in a while. Well, I suppose I've had the chance, and I just haven't had the inclination or motivation or whatever you want to call it But I thought, since I haven't done one in a while, you might as well have the trademarked Tedium Unlimited up the nose shot in the car thing. Although it's different. This is not an intentional Dutch angle. I bought an Apple Smart battery case for my iPhone, but it extends the phone a little bit because it's got a pass-through lightning cable connector, and so it doesn't fit in the little rubber knobs that I put on the dashboard of the car so that I could fit the phone in a place securely that could shoot video up my nose. And so that's why you're canted at an angle. I just can't actually fit you in the spot, and I guess it's time to revisit, because I'm really liking the battery case. It may not be the prettiest thing that's ever been put out, but it does mean that by the end of my workday, when I'm leaving the office and heading home, my phone's still sitting at 100% charge, and that's pretty good. And you know, if you are doing something intensive like playing Pokemon, then you can go a long time, more than other people who do not have battery cases. So all of that is good. Life has just been dull and busy. They still haven't fixed my house. Of course, the block is up, but that's the last that's been done, is the blocks are in place. I'm still waiting for them to come out and fix the electrical. I'm still waiting for them to come out and fix the drywall. And I'm hoping to hear today from the contractor if they're going to come out tomorrow to do the drywall or the electrical. I don't care which one. Just something. I've also discovered that there are subtle problems with the floor in that room. It's what's called a floating floor. So it's planks of wood that are laid down. They've got tongue and groove. You start at one side, you work your way across, and it basically just lays on top of whatever the base is. And I put it in several years ago. Underneath it, there's a layer of foam to kind of kill the sound. And then underneath that was the original linoleum floor, which is placed on top of the original cement grounding. So, and it's a fairly thick floor. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch of linoleum, and then maybe 1/8 of an inch of the foam on top of it, and then the floating floor on top. And I think that's where the problems begin. So, if you can envision it, the floor runs parallel to the long wall. The planks run parallel to the long wall. And so you'd start in a corner and you'd place a plank and you'd lay them down along the wall, and then you come to the next corner and you cut the plank in half, or a third, depending on how you want to do it. I don't remember whether we did halves or thirds, but you know, if you do one and a half, or in 1 1/3, then you have to do the next one in 2/3, so that you've got that staggered, the seams between the planks stagger as you go along, and you place them along the wall, and you keep doing it until you reach the other end and plop them down in place. And if you have anything like doorways or juts in and out, you have to trim the pieces and put them in place. It's relatively easy the way we did it. However, one stretch of the wall, we cut the plank slightly wrong, and so there was about a centimeter of gap at either end. And what we did was just pushed the board all the way to one side, front or back, it didn't really matter. And then, you know, put the floorboard, baseboard piece over it so that you really couldn't see the gap. And the problem with that is that the floor is just loose enough that if you were wearing shoes, you could be walking along and you could hit one of the planks just about midway in the floor, and it would actually slide and it would push it whichever way the spacing was available. And it would open that centimeter gap right in the middle of the floor. So I had placed a spacer that I made out of an old paint stirrer at one end and stuck it in there, because otherwise you have to just take up the floor, and that wasn't going to happen. And and that's what it was. Now, when they hit the wall, I didn't know it immediately, and I'm not even sure it did happen in the accident. But the spacer is gone, and the floor is loose and free again. And now that they've taken out the temporary wall, and now that they've taken out the jacks, and I've been able to clean the room out and take care of it, it's become obvious that the tongue that was where that gap forms, which is just sort of a natural gap. For some reason, it just likes to slide one way or the other on that point, and the tongue's broken. And when you slide the two pieces together now, they aren't level. There's a trip hazard there. And then there's a few of the planks that got damaged, maybe two, maybe three. They got damaged by the bricks falling on them. Not badly, but they're not right. And then finally, now that the room was cleaned up and mostly emptied out, and I would be walking in there in my socks, it's obvious that it's not just that one plank. There are other planks that no longer present a smooth floor. You hit the edges and your socks catch on them, your feet catch on them, you can feel them. And I don't know if this is something to do with the fact that the brick wall moved and pushed against all the planks, the floor planks, or whether it's because for 35 days they had floor jacks placed right on that floor supporting my roof, which, given, as I said, that there's nearly a quarter inch of softer material underneath the floor, probably really was not designed. Certainly it never occurred to me that that floor might someday be holding my roof up, that it's possible that it's deformed, and in so doing it has caused the floor pieces to be uneven. I'm not happy about that. I am thoroughly not happy about that, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to get the insurance company to fix it, but I hope so. And I would really like it done right, even if I have to do it this time, because I've learned a lot since that floor went in, and I think, for starters, the linoleum has to go, which, believe me, I don't want to do. And I think a more aggressive program of leveling the original floor, which you can't do with linoleum down, which is part of the reason. So I want the linoleum up, and I would like a better quality floor as well. All of which I'm willing to pay for, but I do think some of the damage and the final need to replace this floor is down to this accident. So anyway, that's all I've got. James is incredibly lucky at Pokemon. That drives me nuts. Michelle started school. She's in her second week right now, and seems to be going okay. It's a very big departure for her. She's been used to small schools, and now she's in a big school. 2,800 students, I believe. And I think the biggest school she's ever been in had 300. So it's a bit of a culture shock. Plus, they actually, treat them like high school kids. They get to pick their own food, and they can go to the snack bar instead of this, and they're responsible for taking care of their own stuff. And so, not that she isn't capable of doing that, just that it's not quite the hand-holding that they've given before. And fair dues. That's what you do. You start getting more and more responsibility, and you get more privileges for that as well. She got her test scores back from junior high. She did exceptionally well. James got his back from not high school, or not junior high school, but he also did extremely well. They're both gangbusters in math, but you have to say that Michelle, who is 3 years older than James, is also a little annoyed that she's only 1 year ahead of him in math, and she's 1 year ahead of the other advanced students at her school. So James, who is just in 6th grade, is already in algebra, which is normally 8th grade math around here. So, sorry, 9th grade math. Yeah, 9th grade math. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. And, sorry I haven't done one in a while. I'll try to remember to shoot visuals so that it's not just me yakking at you while I'm coming home from lunch. Well, coming back to work from lunch. I don't go home from lunch. I wish I went home from lunch, but I don't. I go back to work after lunch. So remember, and I'm not even going to try to point, like, comment, subscribe, you know, the usual stuff. And then if I do, you know, do another video that hopefully has something interesting in it, you will be the first to know. Or you'll be one of the first, or you will be someone who knows. Amongst the people who know, you will be one of them, provided that you get notifications, in which case, if you don't, then you will not be amongst the people who know. But you might. Somehow.